Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Ricky and this is my channel, Rickysfoods. So for today's video, we got two pork spare ribs that I'm going to be using, and for that we're going to be using the S&S kettle, and then we got two different rubs that we're going to be using for this cook. One of them I just bought. It's a new rub. It's called the chicken fried barbecue rub, so I'm excited to use that rub. And for the second rub, we will be using the Wheatley's Q's pork rub. So that rub I've used it before. It's really good. It has a nice color and a nice sweet flavor. And with that being said, guys, if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to my channel. I'm not just a barbecue channel. I like trying new dishes, new cooks. So if you're into that, please consider subscribing to my channel. And with that being said, guys, let's get into this cook. So here we have the two pork spare ribs, and like I said, for one of the ribs we're gonna be using, this is the chicken fried barbecue and this is the Texas rib grind. So we'll be using for one of the pork ribs, and for the second pork rib we'll be using, this is the Wheatley Q and this is the pork rub, and we'll be using this one for the second spare rib. Alright, so I'm not gonna do a lot of trimming for this rib, so I'm just gonna keep it nice and simple. So let's go ahead and start preparing these ribs. Alright, so for this rib, I mean, obviously if you see a piece like this just sticking out, I'm just gonna, cut that off, trim that off. Alright, and then this skirt right here, I mean, this rib is pretty much trimmed already. There's not much of a skirt right here, so I'm gonna just take that off a little bit. Alright, take the skirt off. And do not throw this away. This is good meat right here. So, and then over here, just like I say, just trim all this fat right here, this extra fat, trim that away as much as you can. Alright guys, and for the membrane, I usually just leave my membrane on. To be honest, I like eating the membrane. It's like a really thin beef jerky. Well, in this case, it's a pork jerky. So the only thing I do with the membrane, I just give it a couple slices, just like that, and I just leave it on, guys. I don't take my membrane off. I just leave it on, and it works perfect for me. So I just leave it on. So on this side over here, I see that this is really thin over here. So I'm gonna trim that off. So let me find the bone. So the bone's right there. Spread that up a little bit. Boom. And then this is gonna be delicious to make pork sausage or something else with this. So do not throw that meat away. Alright guys, so I'm happy how that looks right here. So right here, this bone right here, I'm gonna take that off. Put it over here. Take that off. Alright, that looks good right there. And then I'm just gonna square up a little bit. So that's like that. Just like that, it looks good already. Let me flip it around. So look at that, guys. So it looks good already. The top part, it's not a lot of fat. Not too much fat. I mean, you can trim that off if you want. I don't really care. I'm gonna leave that on. Let me look over here. Alright guys, so for this rib, I like how it looks already. So like I said, I didn't take the membrane off. I just left it on, just a couple slices. I trimmed the skirt away, and then the top part looks good to me. That's a little bit fat right here, but you can take that away. I'm just gonna leave it on. This is not competition ribs. This is just a backyard ribs, and I like the fat, so I'm just gonna leave it on. Alright guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and trim the second rib, and I'll see you guys back in a bit. Alright guys, so here we have the ribs nice and trimmed. So I know I didn't say I was gonna trim a lot, but I think I did. It's okay though. I like how they look when they're the St. Louis style ribs, but it's all good. It's still gonna be delicious. I didn't trim a lot like I usually do. I'm just trying to keep this nice and simple. So let's go ahead and start putting the rubs into the ribs. So let's go. So as a binder, I'll be using mustard. You don't have to use a binder. I just like to use binders. So that's up to you if you want to use one. So I'm just gonna put just one slab of mustard. It's a straight line, not a lot. Alright, that should be good enough. And then you just put it all over the rib just to make sure our rub sticks to the rib. Man, there's a whole bunch of flies around, man. That's why I hate the summer. It's super hot. There's a bunch of flies flying around. My camera's heating up, so I need to hurry up. So let's go. So for the top rib over here, I'll be using the chicken fried barbecue rub. So let's go ahead and put some on the back, because I do eat the back. Like I said, I like the membrane. It's like a beef jerky to me, so I'll eat the back too. So let's go ahead and add that. All right, don't be afraid of putting too much. So that's good enough right there for me. And then you just push it down, slap it down. Don't forget about the sides. All right, so that one's done. And for this rack over here, I'll be using the Q pork rub. And this one has a beautiful color. I like the color that pork gets when I'm using this rub. All right, so now I'm just gonna flip it and do the other side. All right, guys, and for this part, we're gonna be doing the same thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and speed up the video, and I'll see you guys back in a bit. The ribs are nice and seasoned up already. So now I'm just gonna put them inside, let them sweat. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and turn on the kettle, and I'll see you guys back in a bit. Alright guys, so it's been about 20 minutes and the kettle, it's running at 283 right now, so that's perfect. I want to keep the kettle running around 275 to 300. So we're using the SLOW N SEAR inside the kettle. Also the ribs they've been sweating inside the house for 20 minutes, so they're ready to be put inside the kettle. So let's go ahead and start doing that right now. So I'm using my Inkbird over here so I can keep track of the kettle over here. So now just go ahead and put the ribs. Look at that, guys. Look at that color. Alright, so put that over there. Make sure you squish them in. Push them in so that way they can cook nice and beautiful. Because the way you put your ribs, that's the way they're gonna be cooking in the kettle over here. Alright, so we got that over there. Let's put the second rib. Also on the kettle, I got a couple chunks of cherry and a couple chunks of pecan. That's my favorite combo of wood I like to smoke when I'm smoking ribs. So I'm probably gonna come back after an hour and rotate the ribs. That way we can cook them evenly. I probably won't film that, but I'll come back here about an hour and just so we can rotate them. But after that, I'm gonna leave them for another hour and then we'll go from there. So I'll see you guys back in about 2 hours. Alright, so it's been a little bit over 2 hours and this is how the ribs are looking. I did came out here at the 1 hour mark, around there. I did rotate them just so we can make sure that it cooks evenly. So I'm gonna give it about 40 more minutes and then so we can wrap them. So all I'm gonna do right now is I'm just gonna baste them with some barbecue sauce and apple cider vinegar. So let's go ahead and start doing that right now. Alright guys, so I'm just gonna baste it with some barbecue sauce and apple cider vinegar. So it's equal parts barbecue sauce and equal parts apple cider vinegar. So let's go ahead and baste the ribs. Just like that. Not a lot. Just go ahead with your hands. Just go ahead and spread the sauce on the ribs to make sure that we coat it on every single corner and everything. So that's pretty much it, guys. So I'm just gonna leave this here for about 40 more minutes. I'm going to come back out here and so we can wrap the ribs. So I'll see you guys back in a bit. All right, guys, so it's been about 40 minutes since the last time I saw you and we're ready to wrap the ribs. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So you come over here. I got both ribs over here and the color is amazing. It smells good. I love the color. So let's go ahead and start wrapping them. So the first thing I'm gonna do I got my barbecue sauce with some apple cider vinegar, so I'm gonna put a little bit on the bottom, just like that. And also, I'm gonna put a little bit of rub too. For this rib is gonna be the chicken fried barbecue rub. So let's go ahead and put some. All right, guys, just like that. And now I'm gonna grab the rib and put it face down. It's kind of hot still. Let's see. It's a little bit of pullback right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's a little bit of pullback. So after I wrap it, it's gonna pull even more. Gosh, it smells amazing, guys. All right, so just like that. So I'm gonna put a little bit more of the barbecue sauce. All right, and then a little bit more rub. All right, there you go, just like that. And now I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it. All right, so go like that. So that's one fold. Make sure when you wrap, it's nice and tight. I got 2 aluminum foil over here, so you just make sure the bone doesn't rupture the foil. And just like that. So right now, the rib is facing down. So when I go ahead and check the rib in about 40 minutes, I can open it up easily. So that's why I like leaving the rib facing down. So let's put this on the side and let's go ahead and do the same thing to the other rib. All right, guys, and for the second rib, I'm gonna do the same thing. So see you guys back in a bit. All right, guys, so now that we wrapped the ribs, we're gonna put them back in the kettle. Kettle's gonna be running around 300. And then we're gonna check back on these ribs in about 40 minutes to see how tender they are. And if they're tender the way I like them, we'll take them off the foil, put it back in the kettle, put a little bit more barbecue sauce for about 10-15 minutes, and we're done, guys. So let's go ahead and put this ribs back in the kettle. Now, guys, now that we got the ribs back in the kettle, I'll see you guys back in about 40 minutes to check on the ribs. So see you then. All right, guys, so we are finally done. I took the ribs off the kettle. When I took them off, I just pick them up, and if they were tender enough, if they fold easily, that's perfect sign for me they're done. When I tempt them, they were tempting at 203, 202, so that's a perfect reading for me. So if you come over here, we have, so this rib over here, this is the chicken fried barbecue rub, and you can tell because of the texture, there's a lot of pepper in it, so you can tell the peppers right here. So that's a lot of pepper in here. And then if you come over here and on this rib over here, this is the WBQ pork rub over here. I give it a nice color, and you can see they're tender, a little bit too tender for my taste. I like them a little bit more tough, but so you can just pull the bone. And we're just ready to cut this open. Let's see how we did, guys. So let me go ahead and get a couple of ribs so we can give them a taste test. So let's go. I'm just gonna cut them right here through the middle. All right, so that's one right here. So we're gonna taste both of them, guys. So let me get one over here too. All right, guys, so first we're gonna taste the chicken fried barbecue rub. Look at that, guys, nice and juicy, still hot, so I'm probably gonna burn myself. You just go for the bite, guys. Take the bite. All right, guys, so this is the chicken fried barbecue rub. Let's go. Look at that, guys, perfect bite. A little bit smoke ring. Wow, the first thing I taste is the pepper. That pepper, it's money. I love pepper. Has a good flavor, a little bit of sweetness, but with the pepper, okay, that's a lot of pepper in there, so it's kind of a little bit of heat, but it's perfect, a perfect combo. Really good rub right there. Now let's go ahead and taste the WBQ pork rub. Same thing, guys, nice and juicy, beautiful smoke ring all around. Let's go. So again, guys, this is the WBQ pork rub. Perfect bite again. I have to take another one. It's so good. All right, guys, and these ribs were done in my SNS kettle for about 4.5 hours, and they came out delicious. I didn't sauce these up because I'm not a big fan of sauce, but you can sauce these up, put them back in the kettle after they're done for about 5-10 minutes so the sauce can set in, and you got yourself a delicious pork rib. super good, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment below, and like always, I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.